probability. So now we'll be discussing Venn diagrams. So I have these over here, these Venn diagrams, 6 of them. So the first one is A and not B, also known as only A. Why am I saying that? Because this shaded part only shows that this is A. Remember that this is A and B, so you cannot count it as A. A only is only this portion. So in an exam they can say they can say what is the probability of A and not B. Just know that they're talking about probability of only A. Moving on to the next one, we have probability of not A and B. That means only B. As you can see by this shaded part, that's only B or not A and B. And remember, this is an intersection of both events, so you cannot count it as only B. Moving on, we have not A and not B. What does that mean? That means probability of not A or B. Okay, remember A or B is the union, so it's the probability of not A or B, which is the union. So if it's the probability of not A or B, then what is it? It's everything else outside of A or B, which is this shaded area here outside the circles right there. That's not A and not A or B. Moving on, we have A or not B. A or not B looks like this. Not B, right? Remember that B is only one portion over there. This one here, it's the intersection. So not A or not B would be here. The rest of this portion here and the sample space over there, that's A and not B, because here the only thing that we don't have is not B, right? Then everything else would obviously belong to A, including the sample space. That's all you should know, guys. Just know that if it's A or not B, remember we're talking about a union here. We're talking about a union here. A or not B. It's everything from here throughout the sample space. Moving on, we have not A or B. Again, same thing. You won't shade A only. This part is A only. You will shade this and the rest of the sample space. Then not A or not B. That's the same as not A or B. Not A or B. So not A or B would be only this part. This part is the thing that is not A or B. Why? It is not a union. It's an intersection. So what does that mean? This is A and B, guys. Yes, that's what it means. This is A and B. This is A and B. So not A or not B is everything here. This shaded part here, that's not A or B. Remember that. Just remember that. If they ask you what is not A or not B, just know that it's everything else here except for this intersection here. Everything else is not A or B, or it's not A or B. Yes. Everything else here except for the intersection P of A and B, except for P of A and B, is not A or B. Now, here's a tip. When using Venn diagrams, always start at the intersection and work your way out. Because if you start with A only, B only, you're just gonna confuse yourself. So make sure you start on the intersection and you work your way out. So we have an example here. Two events A and B are such that P of A and B is equal to 0.08. What did we say P of A and B is? The intersection. P of A and not B is equal to 0.32 and P of B is equal to 0.2. So remember the intersection, P of A and B, that's the intersection right there. So every time start with the, well, here it's not really necessary because we're not given any values to put on the Venn diagram, but I'll show you what I mean on the next slide. So P of A and B is 0.08, that's the intersection right there. Then P of A and not B. Remember what I said, P of A and not B, what does that mean? A only. Okay, so it's A only. So P of A and not B is this part here, only this part, 0.32. Then P of B is 0.2. Now P of B is 0.2. You saw that P of B there is, it's the whole thing over there. If they said P of B and P of B only, then it'll be this part, then we would have said 0.2. But since since P of B is 0.2, we're gonna subtract 0.2 from 0.08. So we're gonna subtract 0.08 from 0.2. So we're gonna say for P of B, right, it's everything here. So everything, what I'm saying is this whole circle here is equal to 0.2. But P of B only would be 0.2 minus 0.08, which is equal to, okay, minus there, minus 0.08, which is equal to 0.12. That's why there's a 0.12 here. That's P of B only. So this plus that gives you 0.2. That's P of B, because that's everything. That's the whole circle of B. Okay, moving on. B says determine the probability of A of B. Remember we said P of A of B is the union. So the union is everything here, right? Everything. So all you're gonna do is P of A of B is equal to 0.32 plus 0.08 plus 0.12, which gives you 0.52. Number 2 says P of not A and not B. P of not A and not B, it's everything else that is not, it's everything else that is not in A and B. Okay, so everything else that is not in A and B would be the sample space, right? So probability of not A and not B will be everything else that is not inside A and B. So everything else that is not inside A and B would be the sample space. And look at that, the sample space is equal to 0.48. Now you're probably asking yourself how we got that 0.48. Okay, so here we say P of A and B is equal to 0.08, right? We fill that in. Then P of B is equal to 0.2, which is the whole thing, but P of B only is 0.2 minus 0.08. That's how we got 0.12. Then P of A and not B, which is the same as P of A only. P of A only is equal to this side, 0.32, right? Now when you add that up, it does not give you 1. When you add that up, I think it gives you, okay, let's see, 0.32 is equal to 0.08. That gives you 0.40. 0.40 plus 0.12 gives you 0.52. Now what you do there is you minus 1 minus 0.52, which gives you 0.48 right there. Remember, the sample space, this box must be equal to 1. So if everything here does not add up to 1, if it does not add up to 1, what's in A and B here, then what you must know is the leftover, what is left over is in this box here, in the sample space. Everything that is left over after adding these is the sample space. Remember that. So that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.